You know, it's been a while, and I nearly pressed the wrong button 3 times. I'm also quite loud. Am I loud? Maybe I'm talking loud because I'm excited to be back streaming on my favourite streaming platform. Which one is it? I'll never tell. It's YouTube. It just is. Yeah, I'm not on Kick. And I'm also not going to dwell on it. I'm just going to say that I don't fully understand what's happened on Kick. What I've looked at is very confusing. I don't want to understand it anymore. So I'm just going to not bother with Kick for a bit. Possibly ever. Don't know. Don't care. I'm not married to the platform in any way. So screw it. There. That was concise and coherent. We're looking at arranger tracks today because I don't I don't understand them. And this is how I'm choosing to learn. I don't understand arranger tracks. As far as I can tell, right, arranger tracks exist if you're trying to use Cubase in the way that one might use Ableton with a launchpad. That's my understanding of arranger tracks as someone who hasn't tried to understand arranger tracks. I could be completely wrong. Boy, this chair is squeaky. I could be completely wrong there. I don't know. That's why I want to do this, because I don't know what they are. And I sort of want to know. So that's why we're doing this. So before I get into arranger tracks, I think I need to write like a really basic piece of music, and then we can get into whatever it is they do, right? So let's get rid of that keyboard. 1 2 1 2. I haven't touched loud. Let's do this. 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. That's a bit better. That looks better. Cool. Yes. So I've loaded up an instance of Pippa, which is a kind of vocally synth from Clevgrand, who I'm quite fond of. I dig that a lot. I use it. Oh, it's just nice. It's just really, really nice. Let's use this. Yeah, weird. Really, really silly. Let's use that. Is it mono? That's quite fun. So we'll have that in some way. Let's also load... I don't know, man. We're going to have some kind of weird synthy bass, I reckon. Let's build that really quick. We'll go like this. Nice. What about... Yeah, that'll do. It's a little too clicky. Cool. That'll do. Some kind of drums. We always go contact, don't we? Because it sort of works. I've been really enjoying Empire Breaks recently. Yeah, it sounds good. Let's go whatever this is. I mean, that might even do. So let's just start by writing out a couple sections. So we'll start with the drum kit because that's what I always seem to do. We've got a little bit of quantize, which is good. Oh, we'll make use of that. Bum bum. just go. Yeah, maybe that. Let's raise the velocity of all these snares pretty much to the top. And then kicks, yes, 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 I think most of the way. I think that snare there, but lower velocity. Maybe. Yeah. And then let's have hi-hats on the one and. Lovely stuff. Let's slow it down a bit. How does it loop? Probably fine. La Petite Simp, how's it going? Thanks for jumping in. There we go. I like that. So we'll do 2 of them, call that a section. Let's come up with another beat, call it a different section. Then we can start adding some bass and some other stuff. And then I'm gonna try and just get the absolute bare bounds. Bare bounds? Bare bounds. Thanks for subscribing. Lovely to have you here. We'll get the absolute bare bones of 2 sections, and then we'll start looking at a range of tracks. Because I don't know what they are. Basically. Let's have a more straightforward loop, I guess. So some of those snares were in weird places. So we won't do that. A beat kind of like this should work. And then instead of hi-hats, maybe just on the beat. It's a bit weird, but if we add in some kind of ghost snares, that might sort of work. We can call it ghost just because they make less noise. It's a stupid name. Let's try that. That's all right. I don't love the hi-hat sound there. It is looping, so let's have a little look. This is hi-hat open, so I think something that's a little annoying is the hi-hats aren't panned at all, so I'm just going to shove them all 33 left, just so they come out the left ear, which is what I, sort of prefer. Come on, 32. No, it has to be exactly 33. There we go. So all of them will be 33. 33. So it just gives it a little more space. Okay, I like that. This kick's weird, man. Let's try that one. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's all right. Let's have like a little fill at the end of that one or something. Even just something like that. Yeah, that'll do. So we'll call that a section. We'll call this a section. Let's think about bass. So maybe we do something with like a longer release. Yeah, maybe something like that with the slightly chromatic note in there. So we'll just start off with that. -7. Maybe. I don't love the higher pitch. We'll just have like a tiny bit of the sub in there, I think. Yeah. So we need another bass. So I think maybe something not simpler, but more chord driven perhaps. So this is more of a riff. So instead we'll have, what do we say? A. So we'll start with D sharp. probably need 2 of them. Maybe? I don't know. Yeah. Cool, so I think we want something kind of chordy and then something with this pipper. I mean, what if we just copied that over? We'd have to make the notes longer, wouldn't we? A little bit. And probably higher pitch as well. Nah, I feel like maybe that's going to be useful for more like ear candy kind of things. Something like just like that, for example. Yeah, something like that. So then we want something kind of chordy. Let's just call it ear candy. So then we could use... Let's go Pad Shop, see what that's got for us. So we want something kind of crusty. I don't really know, to be honest. Analog, what have we got? It's a bit epic. Maybe? Maybe? So that's... let's put a quick trick on. Let's keep that going. And then if we went I think maybe that would happen here. Maybe? That probably wants to follow the bass. Although the bass does feel a bit predictable in that bit. Maybe that's not a bad thing. C sharp. G sharp, A sharp. Yeah. So it doesn't follow the bass exactly, but it's kind of fun, right? And I kind of want to have it shorter, but like with way more release. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to try and randomize the length of some of these somewhat. So let's add some release here. Okay. So I don't love that the bass and the pad are happening at exactly the same time. So maybe we'll add some extra notes in. Cool, so what's the next section? Maybe we just have like a very high string part throughout. A sharp. Yeah, it's an F. So I think we'd have much lower volume, right? And probably something going on, like a chopper or something. Modulation, chopper. Does anyone else like that? Right? Just the idea of... Yeah, I'm going to do that. And we're also going to have mix. setting, because it means that you can clip things, you can snip things, snap things much easier to the grid. That's pretty weird, right? What's this? What's happening here? Why is there not? What is... What's... That's... What on earth? That's not usual. Right? To just have floating automation points. Am I going mad? I mean, it doesn't really matter because the automation's... Oh, hello, have you... Okay, it's fixed itself. That was weird. I didn't like that one bit. Cubase, what? Maybe we do have it stereo. Maybe I do want it to follow the chords. Follow the bass, rather. I don't know. Let's... Yeah. Let's have those as inversions, so it's the same notes, but they're just below the roots. Better. I want those to be a bit longer. I want to do like an arpeggio kind of thing with the ear candy thing. Something like that. Just arranging some of the velocities so it feels a little more random. There we go. I mean, that could change throughout as well. Like here. Oh gosh. Kinda. That'll do. Those could change as well. Could do that. Yeah, nice and easy. So let's just duplicate that. Okay, yeah. So, I'm not madly in love with this piece of music currently, but it's going to serve our purpose for working out what arranger tracks are, which I'm going to say is now 40 minutes into the actual music creation is where we're going to start looking at arranger tracks. This isn't a great piece of music. It's fine. It functions as music. It objectively starts somewhere, goes somewhere else, and there are chords and notes and stuff. So, oopsie. Yeah, no, let's do it. Let's start the arranger track journey. So we right click in this kind of area, and we see here add arranger track. Now, you tell me what any of this means. Okay, so this little E looking icon is usually in Cubase, the button that you press when you want to know what like the options are. Okay. What if I wanted to write something? Hello. So presumably arranger events ABC. So is this A and B? No, I have not understood at all. Current arranger chain, arranger events. So that was interesting. So what are these? Activate arranger mode. So if I turn this off, is it going to play B followed by A? I'm excited to find out. Okay. But what happens at the end of A? Let's find out. Goes back to A. So that's interesting. So let's just press some of these buttons and work out what they do. What are you? Create a new chain. Alright. Arranger chain 2. Arranger chain 1. Arranger chain 2. I can drag and drop. That's neat. Arranger chain 1 doesn't have that. Right, so flatten chain. Oh. How do I undo that? Control Z, always my friend. Right, so let's delete arranger chain 2. So it seems like, let's say, if we wanted to work out what the optimum, well, arrangement is an interesting word for this, and it's one of those things because in music words often mean more than one thing, or we have more than one word to mean the same thing. So in a musical context, when you say arrangement, to me that's got to do with the ensemble, right? If you have, say, a chord chart and you want to work out how to play that chord across a string section, you need to divide those notes individually so that these monophonic instruments can each play one note and achieve a chord. Or like, I don't know, if you're taking a piece of let's say hip hop and you want to arrange it for a rock band, you would say, okay, well, the drums do this, the beat does this, therefore the drum kit should do this. There's a synth bass doing this, so the bass guitar can fret these notes to achieve those same notes. That's what arrangement means to me. When we're looking at a track in Cubase which essentially seems to allow us to rearrange the structure without affecting the piece of music, the sections and the MIDI underneath it, that feels more like a structural thing. So if I was doing it, I would call it the structure track, maybe. Maybe I've misunderstood what arrangement is. I don't know. I'm very dumb. It's entirely possible. So that's an interesting choice of words to call it the arranger track, right? I'm going to keep pressing wrong buttons because I had a week off. That's what I get. At least my chair is still squeaky. No, I did it again. Wrong button. There we go. Right. So that could be where where some of my confusion has come from. Like the word arrangement doesn't seem to really mean what I think it should mean. Okay, so we can assign sections, which is great. Come back. It's a little frustrating that I can't dock this somewhere. Can I maybe no. Okay, I'm just gonna have to keep doing this. So what this allows us to do is to have multiple chains. So let's say we've got a piece of music. So we've got a verse, chorus, and a bridge, and they sound great, but we're not sure which to do in which order or how many repeats to do of each. This would be a great opportunity to work that out, or to hear different things in context. So for example, what we actually have here is repeats of the same thing, so I could quite happily put all these in the bin, and if I just tell Cubase what I want you to do is play 2 A sections followed by 2 B sections, we should have the same effect, right? Let's find out. Oh, we've got a counter here. That's handy. Yes, wonderful. And then B twice. Oh, come back. So we could name these, I assume. I just want to name them. I just want to... Oopsie. I did it too many. Pen selected. No. Can I can't name it. But then why... Is there truly not a way to name it? What if I... No, that's just C. Ha! So they just have to have... That's a pain in the butt, because I want to call it verse chorus and then verse fill chorus fill, I wonder if there's a way around that. What is this? Toggle time base between musical and linear. I don't really know what you mean by that. Well, no, I think I know what you mean, but I don't know why you would. Interesting. So what are these? Previous chain step. Next chain step to the first to the last. Activate arranger. So with that off, does it just play what you've got? Yep. So you turn that on and then it starts wherever you want it to start. So it's frustrating to me that we can't rename these. Append selected in arranger chain. That just adds one. Oh, so these are the options to do with flattening the chain. So flattening the chain just means we're going to put it in its own project, right? So basically it does this. So it gives us a version of this. Yeah. That's quite interesting. Okay. Control Z. So we can't. If I click too many things, it just adds them. I can't believe I can't rename it. That feels like a mistake, you know? Oh. Oh, that's strange. You can have things within things. I suppose that makes sense, right? Yes, if you have a fill, you could just play the fill, I guess. I suppose I'm struggling to know why one would. I still don't really get it. Now I've learned more about it, I feel like this is less useful to what I thought it would be used for, which is like using a launchpad, for example. Because launchpads inside of Ableton work with clips. So this could all be one clip, for example, and you press that button to play that section, and then it loops until you tell it to stop. You can press another button and then go to this clip. Or you can have this drum beat under this thing, or these chords with this rhythm, or whatever. I sort of thought that's what it would be used for, but I guess it makes sense that that's not the case because Cubase doesn't want to be Ableton. Cubase is doing its own thing. Ableton is doing its own thing, so there's not really any point in them competing in any way. So I get that. Rename current chain. Arrange a chain for the win. Oh, okay. So version. Well, let's just call it version 1. So that's interesting. Create new chain. No, I don't want that chain. Duplicate chain. I want to rename these because it feels really weird to just. If I've got this up here, like I don't necessarily know what. I don't necessarily need to know what these are called, but when they're here, I do. It's very interesting. That doesn't come down. Interesting. I mean, I feel like that's it, right? Offload the on Twitch. How's it going, buddy? Nice to have you here. Am I missing something really obvious about any of this? Maybe I'll do a little old Google. We'll use my good friend Google. Cubase arranger track. The arranger functions in Cubase allow you to work in a non-linear fashion. Yes, good, thank you. Using an arranger track allows you to specify how and when specific sections are played back, even in live performances. This way you do not need to move, copy, paste events in the project window. Sure, I guess my response to that is, why wouldn't you want to copy and paste things in the project window? I mean, that's how I've always done things. So there is a degree of bias here. Like I've always done things that way. So I feel like that's the default way of using Cubase, which maybe it is, or maybe that's just me. I don't know. But I'm not sure why you wouldn't want to do that. That feels like that's what Cubase is at its core, right? Maybe, I don't know. To use the arranger functions, you must add an arranger track. Done. Bosh, winning. And define arranger events. Done. Arranger events can be of any length. Good to know. They can overlap. Yes, I've discovered that, and are not bound to the start or end of existing events and parts. Yep. I don't know why you needed to specify that, but fine. You can order them in a list and add repeats as desired. Yes, I've discovered these things. You can edit arranger events using the standard techniques. Okay, so cutting, duplicating, stuff like that, I would assume. Copies from arranger events are independent from the original events. Copies from arranger events are independent from the original events. Okay, so if I had C and I duplicated it, it would become D, and that would be a separate thing, I guess. You can create several arranger chains. Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. That's the thing we already discovered. You can flatten arranger chains to turn them into a linear project. I guess it's just it's another way of creating, isn't it? But I don't know why you would. Is honestly how I'm feeling at the moment. Especially because, for example, when I'm writing a piece of music, I want to be able to change things gradually. So, like, if this was to repeat twice, I would want to change something the second time round. Whether it's, for example, and I'm not saying 100% of the time, I'm just saying that most of the time, I'd maybe want to double up the hi-hats so we go from one to the other. Oh, sorry, I've got that on. Excuse me. You know, just to add momentum, add tension, add fun. And I don't necessarily want the if I'm doing this kind of automation, I want that to be able to change without it being a problem, you know? Especially if it's something that I want to feel like it's being played by a person, or I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe this is for people who don't necessarily mind if their stuff is rigid and inhuman. God, I could have said that better. Give up my bias there. I don't get it. But I suppose, like, I suppose I should probably try and finish a piece of music using the arranger track, right? So, okay. Well, let's call this. Oh, that's also B. That's interesting. So if I have this, do you know which B to use and when? Talking to it like it's a person. Okay, so let's start out. That's going to get confusing. So I can have more than one thing. I can have tracks with the same name. I can have more than one beat, but they refer to different sections, and that's fine. But I can't, for example, have... Oh, that's weird. I doesn't want to do it now. I can't, for example... I can't just rename that. That feels silly. Right, so... Let's say... I want to start out with... Actually, let's colour these so they're easier to read. So you can be blue, and you can be slightly darker blue to indicate this slightly different section. Same section with like a slight change. So then let's go, okay, we'll do A twice. We'll do B twice. We'll do A twice, and then we'll do B and then C. So that feels kind of like a song. So then we'll maybe do A twice again. And I think we'd have a new section, wouldn't we? Which we haven't written yet. So we'll call that D for the moment. 2 of them. And then we'd do 1, 2 of them. 2 of them, and that would be our song, and that takes us... That's quite handy to see the duration there, and see that repeating it that many times will make that a 2.5 minute song. Okay. I think. Okay, so something that I've realised actually might be quite handy is I changed the volume, didn't I, here, because that was a bit sort of dominated. One benefit of doing it this way is that I can then change the volume, for example, of this yellow section, this orange section, and that has affected every time an A section is played. That is a benefit, because previously what I'd have to do is like have to get quite fiddly and intricate with checking the volume. If we had this track laid out, that'd be a real pain in the ass to kind of bring the volumes up and down for each individual A section and leave the blue sections, the B and the C, where I want them to be. Does it know where that was? Okay, it carried on from the same point. So if I pause that when it starts the B. Okay, that's cool. That's good to know that it's just a pause. Okay, so I think we need to do a D section, obviously, like a bridge. We also need like an intro, some kind of outro as well. So we'll close this for the moment. Let's do a beat here, and then we'll work out another section. What do we do? What do we do? That's weird. Feels like it should start there. That's a fun little weird inversion. Let's just do offbeat. So then, for chords, maybe, I mean, just in the name of finishing a song using this godforsaken format. Oh yeah, I also want that off. Chopper go off, thank you. So then it's... Why is chopper still on? That needs to be that long. So then we'll go, yeah. Guessing. I don't really know how music works. Yeah, screw it, why not? Let's have this as like an extra bar, just to like round it off, make it feel like a complete section. I don't know. Yeah, screw it. Why not? So then bass could just be copying that. Let's copy that into a rhythm. Bomb. Let's do that and then F sharp. Damn, that's hard to keep track of. Yeah, let's not. Let's change that up a bit. That's difficult. That'll do. That'll absolutely do. This is definitely not my finest piece of music. As well, with the ear candy. I don't know, man. Like that again, maybe. Forever. Like that, that's weird. But what I want. Let's do it so it's a bar in length each time. So then it goes down there. And then maybe we just change the deepest note. Yeah, why not? Maybe we need to do that really as well, don't we? So D sharp becomes E there. Oh yeah. It's a bit janky, but I think it works. If I just put those back, that should still work. What if we did this? We've got to follow the whole chord, haven't we? So then if these go... oh yeah, because it's not actually the triad it's following, is it? It's sort of its own thing. I sort of just want to keep it like that. Yeah, I mean, it's not my best work. So let's say I want another... Maybe that can be my intro. That can be my intro and my outro, right? So I can put that up here. Yeah, wonderful. I can have that there as well. Neat. So the entire thing... So let's say that's all absolutely fine. I suppose that might be a quick way to make music. I mean, if it works for you, like, absolutely fine. I would say give it a shot, so at least you know what it does. And let's say you've written music this way and you like how it sounds, then you can flatten it, and it gives you the piece of music like this. Oh, did I want 2 Ds? I don't want 2 Ds. No. How do I... yeah, sure. Because it's twice as long and a bit. So let's say flatten chain, cool. The first thing that I would then have to do is come in here and find all... Oh. That's interesting. So if you lock automation, it doesn't carry across. That's pretty strange. Why? Why is that? Yeah, if you unlock it, that's fine. So the first thing that I would do is make sure that this automation is smooth. So I would have the each of these like the mix level. On the chopper, I would just give that a bit of a fade, either side, fade in, fade out. For me, I would also get rid of like these volume jumps. I don't like jumps in my automation. That's just me. Like, you might disagree, and that's fine. So I think there's like a couple things that I see being quicker than typically, making music how I have been making music all this time. But I don't think overall it's a thing arranging tracks in that way is worth pursuing for me. I don't see how it would be a positive to my workflow, although I'm glad I've taken the time to understand it, and now I sort of know that to be true as a fact. Very odd stuff. What is all this? That's very strange. That's a weird bug, isn't it? Why you're like this? If I delete all of you, very, very odd. So then, can I just take that from the bar before? Paste that bar before. Yes. Paste that bar before. Yeah. Very odd. Okay. I don't see this being a net benefit, personally. Yeah, but that's just for me. Like, if it's gonna work for you, like, then crack on. Is there a way to see things? So if I delete that, does it delete it for all of them? It does. Interesting. So these reference each other. So actually, that's a net negative for me, because then if I wanted to add one little, oopsie, didn't mean to do that. That's embarrassing. Load. If I wanted to develop sections throughout, so for example, add more hi-hats, less hi-hats, different kind of drum fills, I wouldn't be able to do that. I suppose I could glue these together, and then I have the option to, in areas, deleting hi-hats and it not affect the entire composition. That would be one way to overcome that. But I like having clips, because then it helps me visualize the sections. So that, I guess, concludes my look at arranger tracks. Wrong button. I'm glad that I took the time to look at them, because the thing is, there's so much stuff in Cubase, man. People talk about it being expensive, but it's expensive because there's a lot of stuff in there, and honestly, there's a lot of stuff you may never use. I only looked at arranger tracks because I keep seeing them every time I go to make a new track, and every now and again I wonder, is that something that would help my workflow? Now I know that it probably isn't most of the time, but I also know what it's capable of and what it will allow me to do. So maybe in the future there's a specific situation where actually that kind of workflow would be really helpful. A non-linear thing that maybe slightly resembles Ableton in some ways, but not completely, so it's legally distinct, I guess. That might be really helpful. And if that's a workflow that works for you, like, you crack on. I can't think of a specific situation where I would definitely use arranger tracks. That's just me. What other kind of tracks have we got hidden here as well? Video track, fine. Transposed track. Transposed track is an interesting thing. I think that would work if you're using... Not sure, actually. Maybe that's something we look at again. Oh damn, there's buttons that I don't... Ugh. What do you want from me? Yeah, no, transpose, that's an interesting one. Maybe we'll look at transposed tracks at some point. Folks, I had a little break, but I believe I am back on the Mondays for a while now. Next week we're looking at post-punk, which was a suggestion by Giovanni B2572. I don't remember on what platform, but they said it nonetheless. Post-punk is going to be fun. A genre I don't know an awful lot about. And then, so that's on the 2nd of October at 8 PM, and then on the 9th we're looking at hiding memes in music with sonification, a process that I know simultaneously too much and not enough about. It's mysterious. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you learned something about arranger tracks, or truth, or love, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what music does to you. I'm going to go. See you next Monday. Take care of yourselves. Don't do what Donnie Don't does, I guess. Alrighty. Toodaloo.